So many people. People everywhere. The streets were blocked. The inn yard was overflowing. Come from all over. Travelled miles, some of them. They were camped out on any spare piece of ground, and it was a chilly night to be sleeping outdoors. We were used to it, of course. Shepherds, see. We came out onto the hills all year round. How would we keep our sheep safe otherwise? All the people who had travelled to Bethlehem had just one thing in common. They hadn't come for a holiday or to visit friends. No, they were there because they were all part of one big family. A family so big that they wouldn't have known each other. They were all members of the great King David's family, and very proud of it too, even though he'd been dead for hundreds of years. King David, you see, was the greatest king that God's people, the Israelites, had ever had. He was a national hero, so they'd all come back to their family town of Bethlehem. And why? Because of the Romans. There were plenty of them in Bethlehem, Romans I mean. The Roman soldiers everywhere, causing a row as usual. And I don't mind telling you that they weren't very popular. Oh no, no one liked the Romans. Well, why would you? They marched into our land like they owned the place. Now I suppose they do. Their armies are so strong. There's so many of them. It's no wonder they boss us about. They can do whatever they like. We have to do as they tell us. And on this occasion, they wanted to count us. They call it a census. We all had to go to our hometowns to be counted. And if you're in King David's family, that means here in Bethlehem. Oh, I see what you're thinking. No, I'm not in David's family. That's not why I was here. I'm not sure even the Romans would bother to count us shepherds. People think we're the lowest of the low. Just a smelly, noisy lot. Best left out on the hills with the sheep. It's a rare thing for a shepherd to leave his flock outside on their own at night. Well, it's not safe. The wolves are always hungry, always on the lookout for an easy meal, and normally I just wouldn't do it. But on this night, I didn't think twice about it. I came to Bethlehem as quickly as I could. We all did, running most of the way. And so would you if you'd seen and heard. It started with a lot of disturbance in the sky. A bit like a freak lightning storm. The sky lit up from end to end, and so bright it hurt our eyes to look. We were terrified, all of us. But there was more to it than that. There was a voice, and we saw an angel. An angel, I tell you, I'd never seen one before, but there was no mistaking it. It was an angel. And it seemed as if God himself, the great God, was very near, just beyond our sight. Don't be afraid, the angel said. I'm here with good news for you that will bring great joy to all the people. Wow. We listened in amazement to his message. Right now, a baby has been born for you in Bethlehem, David's town. The baby is from God. He will be your Saviour, your rescuer, God's Messiah, his chosen one. You'll find the baby wrapped in strips of cloth and sleeping in a manger, an animal's feeding trough. Suddenly, there was a massive explosion of light and sound. The whole sky was filled with a great army of angels, too many to count. And there was such beautiful music. They were all of them singing over and over again, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and peace on earth to those with whom he is pleased." Well, there was only one thing to do. We ran here to Bethlehem, just like the angel told us to see for ourselves. We found everything was exactly as the angel said it would be. The baby, wrapped up in strips of cloth, was in an animal's feeding trough, in a cave just behind the inn. The baby was called Jesus. We saw Mary and Joseph there too, and we told them what we'd seen and heard. We went back to our sheep, filled with excitement because of all that God had done. And to think that God had chosen us, shepherds of all people, to be the first to see this baby and to have the joy of telling other people about him. You know, I'm learning that God doesn't have favourites. He loves everyone. We didn't realise at the time, but afterwards, when I thought over what Mary and Joseph had said about Jesus, I discovered that hundreds of years before he was born, the prophet Micah had told us that God's special king would be born in Bethlehem. How amazing! That God could use those cruel Romans and their ridiculous census to make Micah's words come true. Bethlehem, not Nazareth, was the proper place for the king to be born.